It's time for your monthly Elven bloodletting. Yes, that's right. It's the Wood Elves versus the High Elves. This replay from Lenorm. He's taking Dryka and a couple of Waystalkers, along with a full stack of Wood Elves, which is actually a little bit tricky to achieve, but he's done it. He's got a bunch of Dryads here. Looks like, what, 4 Dryads? Some Glade Guards as well. 4, 5 Blade Guards. Some Eternal Guards with shields, Glade Riders as well. No Dark Riders here because, of course, there's no Dark Elves. High Elves have gone a different direction. They've got Shadow Warriors, including the Grey here, some Dragon Princes, Archmage of Fire, the legendary Red Eagle up in the air here, some Spearmen, some Rangers as well. You can see already the Arrows of Kurnos going off, taking out 5 models of the Dragon Princes. Basically acting like cannons, more or less, with very limited ammunition. But again, 4 models from that unit of Dragon Princes, so pretty good there. The skirmish fight is also going to favor the Wood Elves to a degree. You can see they've actually taken significant damage on the Hagbane tips, as the High Elves are sort of able to concentrate fire all on one unit of Wood Elves, whereas the sort of wide nature of the Wood Elven build means their fire is by necessity sort of distributed more across the rest of the army here, but the Glade Guards still can fire while advancing. They're going to be threatened by these Dragon Princes here, so Norm's going to eat a charge. Yeah, maybe he could have tried to get back behind those Dryads there before that, but it's not going to be too pretty. The Dryads will be able to screen at least one of the charges here, but still, those Glade Guards are pretty light. The Dryads themselves don't have a ton of mass, so... And look at those shields shining in the sun. Absolutely beautiful. This game is gorgeous. Anyway, Glade Guards do come forward and push those Dragon Princes back. Of course, they don't want to take that engagement straight up. And the Hagbane tips have been punishing them this whole time. That poison magic damage, while it doesn't have the best AP, will still be able to do some damage over time. Dragon Princes in a big unholy blob right here does allow those shots to make even more consistent contact. Not that Wood Elves really need much help with accuracy, but the Glade Riders also get aggressive. They get a nice charge into the Grey here. Going to do a little bit of damage and disruption. Some spear-on-spear combat over on the far side. Dryads on Rangers. Actually, I think should favor the Dryads, given the physical resistance advantage, goes to them. Since they have magic attacks, the Rangers do not. Nice Burning Head going off, just tearing apart some of those Hagbane tips in the back line. Oh man, brutal stuff, absolutely nasty. And we do also get the Dryad summon here in the center to continue to disrupt those Dragon Princes. So some really nice back and forth here. Glade Riders with spears had been in a little bit of a tactical reserve to protect the regrouping Hagbane tips and other Glade Guards there, but they're not going to come forward and again pressure the Shadow Warriors, force these Dragon Princes to respond to protect rather than continue to cycle charge this infantry fight here. Red Eagle just chilling up in the air, relatively safe for the time being. Also the Waystalkers, I'm not sure exactly what they're shooting at. Probably the Dragon Princes, I would imagine, since they can continue to kill models and significantly lessen the killing power of the Dragon Princes themselves. But just keeping a nice wide view here as there's a lot going on. A little bit of a fireball drop there on Dryad's head in the center. The Archmage of Fire had the dragon. She'd obviously be a much bigger target, but would also have the breath attacks, which are super useful against things like Dryads. You can also use it against Dryka. It's not quite as accurate as something like a Star Dragon Breath. Won't make as good a contact, but still that awesome fire damage, especially with Kindle Flame, would be able to do quite a bit there. But the Dragon Princes, despite having taken quite a bit of damage, are still a force to be dealt with in this sort of mid-game here. Another Burning Head also going to roast out some of those Eternal Guards, so the High Elves definitely pushing back. This big sort of multi-layer regrouped presence of Glade Guard is quite threatening though, and they're all going to be concentrating fire on those Dragon Princes. Another Fireball lands on Dryka there, although the Archmage is now getting focused by the Waystalkers, which is definitely the right target for them to be shooting at, getting rid of that Elven leadership. Armor Stars pop just a little bit late there. The Archmage is going to take just a couple more hits before she goes into not being spotted there. The other Waystalker was being interrupted by the Dragon Princes, but nice little counter charge from these Glade Riders. They're pretty much doomed, but at the very least they can allow the Waystalker to get some shots in there. He does get some shots in the back, and they might actually end up surviving this engagement and allowing... No, they actually get killed horribly, and the Dragon Princes themselves don't get routed until after the Glade Riders actually shatter. Will they even get routed at all? I guess we'll have to see. The rest of the battlefield, though, will stay with these Dragon Princes. They continue to charge around, trying to get rid of the Elven Light Cavalry so that they can't respond and continue to countercharge here to bog down the remaining Dragon Princes. So they managed to shatter that unit of Glade Riders, managed to shatter this unit of Glade Riders as well. But the Wood Elves are ahead on the balance of power, even though the Dragon Princes are definitely pretty threatening at this point. The Archmage did come back. She has just enough leadership. As long as she doesn't get hit again by the Waystalkers or anything else, she might be able to sling some fireballs at long range across the field against Dryka. But let's see. Dragon Princes impacting these Glade Guards here, taking them out. These other Dragon Princes just avoiding those Eternal Guards. So this late game Dragon Prince cleanup is pretty strong, and you can see that balance of power tipping back towards even as the Wood Elves start to lose out on more and more units. Dryka does shatter one unit of Dragon Princess herself, though. Really needs to come back and regroup with these Waystalkers. The Waystalkers do have a little bit more Arrows of Kurnos. They're going to pop one. The Flying Archmage, though, is able to mostly dodge that. One of the 3 missiles looks like it impacted her, but for the most part, she is doing just fine. The Waystalkers can just use their ammo on pretty much anything at this point. If the Dragon Princes or the Archmage come into range, they're obviously going to be the most important targets to try and take out here. But likewise, there's the Fireball I was talking about. Slinging long range at Dryka and then just flying back towards his corner to avoid that Waystalker damage. Oh man, Dryka manages to just barely dodge the Fireball anyway though, so that's pretty painful. Balance powers come all the way back to even. Another Burning Head going to be used here. No, Penumbral Pendulum. I mean, I was going to say that's a purely friendly fire exercise, but that makes a lot more sense. The Grade is eating a Pendulum there, which is actually pretty good. 45 attack, 29 defense. I mean, they are enough of a threat to this Waystalker in a surround that that Penumbral Pendulum to help even the fight out is definitely very necessary. So the rest of the fight here, Eternal Guards actually managing to catch a couple of Dragon Princes. Just a momentary slip of micro does cost them a couple of models right there. The Rangers now moving to screen. Very, very close. Very, very close in this late game. Another Arrows of Kurnos going to side shot into those Dragon Princes. Kill another, 4 or 5 unit models there. Almost shatter the unit. But look at those Dragon Princes. 203 kills. Absolutely ridiculous. This little blob fight does develop around the Wood Elven characters. Another Penumbral Pendulum going to be dropped here on the Shadow Warriors. Oh, man. Just brutal stuff. Dryka cleaning up lots of kills, and of course, as she takes damage, she is going to charge up all the units, nearby. I think, or is it actually map-wide? I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's only nearby that she charges those units up, but you can see the Waystalker, 65 attack, almost 350 weapon strength. Very impressive stuff. Dryka herself, 470 weapon strength, 78 melee attack, so looking pretty good so far. The Spearmen are now moving up. The regrouping, sort of Shadow Warriors kind of hanging around here. This other Waystalker is stuck over in this blob of Spearmen and Shadow Warriors himself, though, just kind of grinding. So we're going to fast forward now, and I'll see if the fast forwarding absolutely murders my encoder, but it seems to be doing mostly fine. Probably had to do a couple of quick edits in this video, but that's okay. Yeah, Dryka, a little bit of a Melkost Mystifying Miasma. Again, just doing everything she can to deal with these Elven infantry units that remain. The Waystalker did go through and at least push off the Archmage there. Dryka gets routed, though, and it looks like the other Waystalker does get routed by the Shadow Warriors and Spearmen. So it comes down really to just this one Waystalker left in the late game. Can he hold out? Oh no, the Archmage didn't get pushed off. In fact, she's still hanging around with 78 HP and Armor of Stars. Oh my goodness. So what looks like happened is he landed maybe one shot on her, but it wasn't enough to finish off that Elven leadership. She comes through and probably is going to be able to finish Dryka here. Dryka down to 78 HP, or sorry, 312. That's, yeah, that's the Archmage, obviously. Down to 46, though. One more hit should do it, and the loss of Dryka will be a significant impact to the Waystalker's leadership. I mean, obviously, the leadership debuff from Lord dying is more significant than Lord fleeing. So there goes Dryka. Maybe, no, she just got knocked over, didn't actually get killed. Has managed to avoid the Red Eagle's melee attacks this entire time so far. Allowed this Waystalker an opportunity to get in and get those Spearmen, but she does go down indeed. Let's see, will this be critical army losses for the Wood Elves? Waystalker manages to clean up. The Archmage thinks about charging in, but then actually just straight up shatters. So the Waystalker able to break the first couple of High Elves that come in his direction, right? So we're going to fast forward here as the absolute Legolas moves forward. And now, despite what the balance of power may have you think, those other two multi-model Elven units, the Shadow Warriors and the Spearmen, are just like, you know what, actually? We're not going to fight Legolas in melee. Let's just give him the win. And just through army losses and leadership, through sheer presence of intimidation, his Waystalker is able to take home the victory in an insanely close battle. Crazy back and forth there. I love to see that. Yeah, the way Draika, 155 kills, surprisingly enough, against the High Elves. That's not that much value, which, again, to me seems a bit odd. 10,000 damage dealt. 1850, don't get me wrong, is awesome. I would have expected over 2,000 damage value, though. But still, great performance from Draika. Both these Waystalkers also, considering how cheap they are. I mean, 1805 and 1396 on value. Just excellent. I mean, really, really good. They're both sub 1,000, I think, even with their mainline kits. So that's great. The Glade Guards did sort of get run over a little bit there. Only one pays for themselves. The Blade Riders also were thrown into a rough situation, but credit to them, at least helping hold back the Dragon Princes enough. Only one Dragon Prince paid for itself, so Norman did a good job of limiting them, I would imagine. Yeah, pretty decent value on the Eternal Guards as well. Also, Dryads trade great here. I don't really love Rangers in this matchup due to that fact. I mean, Rangers will absolutely blend Eternal Guards, but they don't even trade well into Dryads, and pretty much all of the other Wood Elven infantry isn't ideal. So the rest of the build, though, I mean, Shadow Warrior is definitely fantastic here. They all get really nice value back. Even the Gray pretty much pay for themselves. I think they are actually 1,200, right? Maybe 1,300, but yeah, still, I mean, for the Gray to pay for themselves is always a good day. For the High Elves, right? Also, Archmage gets some pretty good value. Pretty cheap to take on the Eagle, and the Armor of Stars can help protect if you're up on the uptime, but a short slip up in micro there did result in her taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know, maybe the Armor of Stars was on cooldown while the Waystalkers were teeing off on her. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.